आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, the sensory and motor organs and the life force all become powerful and efficient. Everything is verily the one absolute, all-pervading reality. Let me never deny this truth of oneness. May the truth never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to experience this truth in life be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the intrinsic divinity in us as a bright, shining spark of light in our heart. Let us concentrate on that, feeling I am this divine light. I am seeing this light expanding. And intensifying. The whole body is pervaded by it. From toe to top, I see I am actually this light of divine. And the whole surrounding, everything is also the same light. There is in truth no separation. There is absolute stillness. For the whole time and space is dissolved in this infinite ocean of luminosity. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So let us begin today's discussion on this Upanishad, Svetasvatara Upanishad, and we were seeing the second chapter, third chapter, and let us begin with the prayers. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we attain strength together. May our study make us illumined. May there be no dislike between us. Om peace, peace, peace. So, we were seeing that in the last class that this truth lies far beyond the realm of intellect, realm of our sense perception. That is why it is not basically available for this physical sciences. Physical science is limited by the sense perceptions. So, whatever is not perceived by these five senses is out of the purview of science. Science, therefore, cannot say about whether it is or it is not. It is, therefore, it is told that it is not in this realm. And then the question comes, why do we need to go there? Let us be satisfied in this sensory world. Let us try to get maximum here. Let us try to be as happy as this sensory world can allow us to be. Try to get more money. Try to get into more, health, these avenues to get good health, uh, have more nutritious food, and then go to all the movies and arts and music, and thus, the life here will be happy. It is whenever possible, do some charitable work, so that will remove the pain to our conscience that we are not doing anything for society, and that is a happy life, that is a good life, that is good enough. Why worry about what is beyond the senses? Who knows if there is any such thing? And it is obviously this is human limitation. We have to understand our limitation and live within it. That is the way to be really satisfied and happy. And that which is beyond, why should we worry about it? It is given to human beings by the divine providence that you have these five senses and this intellect. Let us respect the divine providence and be within that limit, and need not worry about there is beyond something, and that is the one philosophical thought, that it is all right that this we get only limited knowledge by our senses, but let us be happy about it. Let us do more permutations, combinations of it to make our life more comfortable. We are now going to Mars also. The tickets are available to go to Mars. Why, Charlie, you want to buy the ticket for going to Mars? Oh, okay. So suppose you get okay. Uh, yeah. So it is. So get more money. Go to Mars. Humanity has progressed so much that it is. We can actually go to all those places. See how precise are our calculations now. And our world has changed so much by that information technology and electronics and what not. And we can just talk to somebody on Mars also. on phone. If there is the phone, will have the capability to just whip out our mobile phone and dial a number on Mars or whatever it is, and talk to them. So be happy with all this progress. Be proud that we are human beings with so much ability to manipulate the nature and make our life really comfortable. Why worry about transcending, going beyond, which is not going to be at all successful? It has no meaning. We cannot go beyond our own intellect. There is a lot of philosophical discussion on this, and it really appeals to most of us that God beyond. See, if we say God does everything and God controls everything, and God has given us this limited intellect, limited sense organs, and with that, let us do whatever we can. That is, let us be respectful of the gift of God. Why we want to go beyond that? A very tempting argument indeed, because then we don't have to change ourselves. Okay, let us make more money, let us start a new business, let us find out medications so that we can live longer and longer, that the stem cell research and all that, it is allowing the possibility, not too distant a possibility. It is almost on the, right there. In a few years, many of these things will be easily available, so that the idea of death, in the conventional idea of death, will not be there. Like somebody is feeling that, well, my bones in the back, they are not good. Okay, just get a set of new set and put there from the shop. My liver is damaged. Just get a new liver. Why worry about it? Like now, you in USA, they don't repair anything. Just replace, get a new one. That's it. My computer is to be repaired. Don't worry, get a new one. That's it. So get new things, that it is, yeah, it is. Somebody was telling, I said, well, the faucet, the washer is to be changed. Gone are those old days when you were changing the washers in the faucet. Uh, Change the faucet itself. Oh, you are not getting a faucet that can fit there. Okay, change the whole plumbing, or change the house, get a new house. It is so everything can be changed. Oh, your brain is getting sluggish, Alzheimer's and all. Okay, probably that is not still seen, but or not contemplated. But get a new brain, a fresh brain, just as you get a fresh computer. Get a fresh brain that will run fast. So there will be no, conventionally, there will be no death, and we can remain happy in this. The problem comes there, that there is no happiness here. Under this realm of these five senses, there is no satisfaction. There is no cessation of suffering. And do you think that by advancement of this worldly knowledge for so many thousands of years, has the misery in the world reduced? There is no evidence of that. It is the pleasures increase, pain increase much more. It is the jealousy, the hatred, the wars. We have improved a lot. Earlier, we used to fight wars with sticks and these maybe daggers and such things, swords. So we could kill 10, 15, 20 people. Now we drop a nuclear bomb, millions are cleaned. That is the improvement that we have achieved, you know. It is all this, it is this is the extent of progress. Is the misery going to reduce by that? That is shown that the mental diseases, they are increasing in America over the time. There is fast, there is, we don't know how, there is no reason found out, but the percentage of autistic children has gone up alarmingly high. It is, and many other such problems are also increasing. It is therefore that statement, they who know this, the reality that transcends the limitations of senses, the reality that transcends the limitations of senses, they who know this become immortal, and also they become happy, free from all sufferings. But all others have indeed to suffer misery alone. Alone in the sense there is only misery, there is nothing else. We were seeing this verse in our last class, that like that somewhere over the rainbow. It is only over the rainbow, means where this beyond the variety. Rainbow suggests the variety. Seven, the one light gets converted into seven colors. So gets split into seven different colors, a variety, a differentiation. So go beyond this differentiation. There alone your dreams can come true. There alone you will feel satisfaction. Then, therefore, it has always been the search of human mind to go beyond. It will be, yes, in a very, very interesting and instructive phenomena, that in spite of this world moving fast in the discoveries of science, discoveries that are under this realm of five senses, under the rainbow, there is also a great surge in people seeking to meditate, to contemplate, to see the transcendental reality. There is certainly lot of interest that is seen in the world all over, whether in the developed countries or in the underdeveloped countries, wherever you go, there is certainly a surge in that also. Why? Because we are realizing that there is no solution of our to the problem of misery here. It is we are not happy, we still are very tense. We are in such competitive world. We don't know who is going to rob us tomorrow. Uh, the new inventions, new comforts, new ways of robbing and stealing, they also are going on. The other day I received my bank's email that, did you make this transaction? I didn't. I didn't make it. Somebody had somehow got the information of my credit card, and then processed it. Fortunately, the bank recognized that it probably is not done by me. Somewhere in Dubai, the transaction went on, So there are those ways, new ways, because the thieves also become very scientific and technocrats, techno savvy thieves. They know better than most of these other these engineers and technocrats. So because and these howsoever one develop, the greed is not removed. The desire for more still persists. And so, tomorrow you may be going to Mars, maybe after some years you may go even to the sun. Or also you may go beyond the solar system, beyond to some other sun, and so forth, to some other galaxy, who knows? It is so, therefore, all this will happen, but what about suffering? What about competitions, jealousies, and all that keep on pricking the mind? It is, see, if you have a small little thorn or a pebble in the shoe, and then even if your shoe is very nice, very pricey shoe, and yet the walking will not be comfortable with that thing. I don't know if you have such experience. Usually you get it if you are walking on a beach and some pebble goes inside the shoe, and then keep on pricking, and now polishing the shoe is the way to make the walking comfortable. Get rid of that stone, brother. That's the thing. Yeah, you cannot. So, we have to adopt to that transcendental method. Go beyond this. It is only there you will find the truth. And this is the message of all sages. You will see, even Jesus gave the same message, that is in the Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna gave this very message, that there is no happiness, no satisfaction here. So, transcendence is a must if we want to be happy, if we want to be free. And that is, these are the requirements from, ever since mankind is there for maybe 100,000 years, I don't know exactly, but it is since then we want what? Happiness, we want freedom, we want love, we want peace, and all the technological and scientific development, that does not have anything to do with it. And therefore, this Upanishad very categorically mentions that all others will have to just suffer here. There is no end of suffering. This idea will come again in various ways, that there won't be the cessation of suffering. You will see these things in Bhagavad Gita also, it is mentioned. So we will move to the next verse, that सर्वानन शिरोग्रीव सर्वभूत गुहाशय सर्वव्यापी स भगवान तस्मात् सर्वगत शिवः. Therefore, that divine Lord, being all pervading, omnipresent, and benevolent, dwells in the hearts of all beings and makes use of all faces, heads, and necks in the world. All pervading. This is something that we have seen earlier also, that and a few more succeeding verses also will be emphasizing this point, that all the heads belong to that person, that one existence. Exactly person, but the one being controls them all. There is no other. Let us feel. The idea is, let us feel the presence of that in our head, in our neck, in our whole body, especially uh, in these functions of the brain and our sense organs. They are to be, like this face has almost all sensory organs are physically kind of located there. The eyes, the ears, the taste, the smell, and touch is there as well, but also in the other parts of the body. And the thinking, the mixing of all these in sensory inputs, the brain that is in the head, and the neck, grieva, signifies this from all the body, all the sensations traveling towards and out of the brain to the various limbs. All that is uh, all heads, all necks, all faces, all organs, they are under the control of this one being. Mm, Everybody's brain is controlled by that one being. So it is, think of that one being, Sarvanana Shirogrivaha, that uh, and is benevolent. Benevolent means uh, the Lord, when you see that sameness, you see the auspiciousness as well. It is only by emphasizing the differences alone, and then we feel the destruction. In fact, it is the violence is the nature that use of this world, as it were, for all the time that we have been aware of in the history. There is no time when there were no wars. There was no time when there was no violence. It is whether you call good old days or the modern days, there is always violence, in spite of the fact that we all, when asked, do you like violence? We will say, no, 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 no. I want peace, no violence. And yet we have wars to establish peace. It is funny, because unless I kill those scoundrels, those bad people, those evil, yeah, there won't be any peace. Those nations are evil. We have to eliminate those, and thus there will be peace. And there is no peace. The psychology of violence is very interesting. Why there is violence in human minds and in human societies? Why is the violence? If all really want non-violence or want peace, why is there violence? If everyone wants something, then naturally you expect that everyone, since everyone is wanting peace, there will be peace. But although everyone is looking for non-violence or peace. There is violence. Where from this violence comes? And the answer is that because of the perception of multiplicity. It's a statement that is somewhat difficult to digest because of our attachment to multiplicity. When this multiplicity is what we are rooted in, we are attached to this multiplicity, I and the world, and that being not the truth. There is violence. Because what is violence? That other is eliminated in violence, you see. Means one, it is a distorted expression for the desire of establishing this oneness. The multiplicity is always there is violence. There is multiplicity means desire, and desire is to eliminate other. We are hungry. Means what? There is the food, and I am here. I don't, that like the food out there. I want it to become one with me. That is so, there is violence. That food is, perception of the food out is eliminated. It is now put in. It is very, very interesting and worth meditating on that why there is this violence. The violence is in that innate to our perception of multiplicity. It is when we are perceiving multiplicity, there is no cessation of violence. Uh, there is no possibility of peace. Uh, one one person had asked, uh, she used to follow my lectures on internet, the lectures in Jnana Yoga, and very much perturbed. And because there is no possibility in Jnana Yoga, Swami Vivekananda mentions that there is no possibility of establishing peace here. So she said, don't you think that there should be some way of having peace on this earth? There won't be any war. And she herself wrote in that email, logically I understand that there is no possibility according to this doctrine, that Maya and all that, there is no possibility of having a world of peace. Uh, but still I feel that there should be some way. Don't you think there should be some way? I said, well, it is wishful thinking only points out that yes, there is that, but not in this world of multiplicity. In the world of multiplicity, there is no escape from this competition. Eliminate other. It is to have this desire to rule everything and so forth. It is, see, this is a very common thing in all beings, that everybody wants to be a unchallenged uh, this monarch for the whole universe. Why? Because that multiplicity is not tolerated. No other, because that is the the nature of this reality. Impossible. So, this is the Lord who is in all heads. Then violence is gone. Mm. Between your two hands there is no violence, that let us fight with each other. Huh? No. Uh, no boxing can be, right hand and left hand. Let us fight. No, that is not possible. Why? Because there is oneness. Do you see that, Naomi? Yeah, if the feast, one feast, Yogatmananda and another of Richard, then hey, come on. Of course, Richard will beat me in no time, but it is then it is all fight. Come on, it is. So, it is only when we perceive oneness that the one being, just as this one being sees through left eye and the right eye. So imagine that being who sees through all the eyes. All the eyes are that being's eyes. All the noses and all the ears and all that. It is breathing through all nostrils, eating through all mouths. So then you can have the peace. There will be no violence then, because there is oneness. In oneness, no violence. And in multiplicity, there is no escape from violence. That is how it is. So, therefore, and that dwells in the hearts of all beings. Whenever you say I, that is, you are referring to that being actually. Mm. It is, otherwise, this is a just dead piece of matter. That it is only the consciousness that makes you say, I am. I am is the expression, that amness. It is the existence of that which we become conscious. That consciousness is I am, and that I is same in all. That God is the actually the I in everyone, in the hearts of all. Therefore, and that is why I had given one lecture long time back here on a Sunday. The title was that, do you want to become a celebrity? Do you want? We all have the desire. Sometimes because of the not possibility of it, we keep it suppressed. But there is the desire that I will be famous. I will be well known. Everybody will just talk about me. I will be famous all over the world, and so forth. Every newspaper will flash my photographs and will sing my glories, and so forth. It is why such desire? Because actually I am the most well known all over. Whenever anybody is saying I, it is my glory that is being expressed. In all, there is the same I. There is no two different eyes. It is in howsoever maybe the two candidates for president's election may be fighting, both have the same one I. It is so. Whenever anybody says I am, my glory is being sung all around. It is that is because that is my true name. I am. Other names are secondary names, and if you they change also according to the context. It is the name of a person depending on the profession and all that. It changes. And also there are nicknames, and people call names, forget about that, but it is all so many people, they call names, so it is these are not our real names at all, they change, they are given names. That it is, I was asking, why your name is like this? I had no control over it. My parents decided to give me this name. What can I do? It was not my choice. So it is, these are names that are given, you see. But in spite of all these given names, one name is our true name, and that is being uttered whenever we introduce ourselves. Like he will say, I am Prithvish. He will say, I am Paul. He will say, I am Charlie. She will say, I am Naomi. He will say, I am Subhashish. All are saying their first, the correct name, their real name first. I am. Uh, the other name comes later, the secondary name. Do you see it, Carol? The first, you tell our real name, I am. Then Carol comes later on, I am. Yogatmananda is, a given name. It is. So, and you, if you don't like, you can go and change it. Just go to the some city office or somewhere where there are records, file an affidavit that, okay, I don't like my name Richard. It is that doesn't really mean much. I want to change my name to Francis. So, okay, so Richard can get the name Francis. Ah, Saint Saint Francis, you see. Okay. Yeah. So it is. Okay. So you can change your that name, but someone this name cannot be changed. I am. That will remain. That is the true and common name of all. It is the true name. And that is where we are all glorified. We are all big celebrities because it is my glory that is being sung on all news channels and everywhere, in the novels and movies, everywhere. It is I who am getting glorified. So that's one I is makes the use of all faces, heads, necks in the world, is in the hearts of all beings. This is a very important point to meditate upon, friends. The humor apart, see, this is the truth, that this self is same in all. It is very important to take up that as meditation. That is God. God is in all hearts. Good to meditate like that. That self is the same in all, and I am that self. So that will be the then reason. I mean, that will be the beginning of our feeling oneness, and that will usher in the true happiness. true love, happiness, peace that we really want. Otherwise, it is all the what is so called development is development in, as they say in Vedanta, in the changes in the Prakriti. It doesn't make our life really happy. It only makes the things in some sense comfortable for some, uncomfortable or painful for others. It is all, see, the new ways of having the reduction of energy usage to work for, you see, not reducing the carbon footprint. Excellent, very good. But it has repercussions, that all so much that so many factories which work with the for the say making those old incandescent lamps which consume lot of power. No, we must reduce the consumption, bring very good idea. Let us have those LEDs, and so it will consume much less power. Okay, very good. But so many factories which were producing those incandescent lamps, and they all the workers there, their lives become dark suddenly because their products are not sold anymore. That what can be done? There is misery, everything that somebody becomes happy, somebody else becomes miserable. This is the nature of the world, and howsoever scientific progress that you can have, this can never be stopped, never be eliminated. It is always the case in this world that any new technology, people say, yeah, wow, wonderful, good. There, when these cars were brought by in the turn of the 20th century, 1900, beginning of that, the cars, automobiles started coming. It is the cars, and then they advertised them. Very nice advertisement. People are very brainy. Even then they were. It is. They showed the horse, that was the mode of transportation. Then horse carriage and all, and the car, and then they wrote, feed only when you ride. The car doesn't, it depends. If you are not riding, you don't need to feed. A horse you have to feed whether you ride or you don't ride. So, but now, what happened to all those horses and the industry that went with it? Gone with the wind. It is automatically that's going to happen. It is the new ways of these clothings, in that I have seen in my lifetime itself how many these textile mills have been shut down. All this around here, you still see the old mills, textile mills. The chimneys are still there to be seen. The old buildings. Just go around here, in Providence, in Smithfield, in Fall River, just so many textile mills. But that textile is no more usable, that industry is, that particular technology is no more usable. All textile industries all over the world, it is kind of collapsed. Really, the old technology has collapsed. It is so. This is how this world is. Under the world, there is no happiness as such. And then it is you are told to meditate on that. Mahan Prabhurvai Purusha Sattvasyaisha Pravartakah Sunirmalam Imam Praptim Ishano Jyotiravyayah. That the Self is indeed the mighty Lord. He is the imperishable internal light that controls everything. He guides the intellect of all beings so as to enable them to gain that extremely pure state. Sattvasyesha pravartakaha. That state of purity is attained by meditating on that being, and that is our true self. Think of that. We have to kick out this habit of thinking of ourselves, this body, that I am this body. That is the source of suffering, and therefore a shift has to be brought into our awareness and our life, that I am the self. That shift is really the uh, essential aspect of what is called meditation. Shift the body centric life and the consciousness centric life. The self centric means our true self. So, this is the self is indeed the mighty Lord. So, each of us is Lord. Each of us, therefore, we want all to be kings. They not like to be governed by anybody. You want to be sovereign. There is that nice Bengali children's song, Amra Shobai Raja. তুমি জানো that, do you know that song? Amra Shobai Raja. Do you know, Pritish? Amra Shobai Raja. It is that all of us are the children saying that we are all kings. আমাদের রাজত্বে কি মোদের রাজা রাজত্বে, that it is yeah, that is the, it just depicts that it is this idea that each of us want to be king. It is but that, and we are actually, when we associate ourselves with that supreme self, that it is there, each of us is king. That is the Lord. It is imperishable. That imperishable light, I am, that doesn't go, that controls everything. It is he should not be taken in a gender specific sense, that he guides the intellect of all beings so as to enable them to gain that extremely pure state, that the meditation becomes possible by holding on to that being, and thus we will become pure. Our intellect will then not be sullified by the uh, mixing with this so called matter and the desires. The desires sullify the awareness, and so no desire will make the intellect pure. There will be no vested interest. It is otherwise our intellect cannot think properly because of the conflict of interests. It is we cannot come to proper judgment, and therefore even the our regular worldly matters, a judge does not take the case, or is not allowed to take a case when that judge's own interest is involved, connected with the judgment. That, well, you can't take the case because your son is an attorney of one party in the case. How can you be impartial judge? There is conflict of interest. It is yeah, very important thing. We cannot judge properly. Our intellect doesn't work properly because our desires they have that conflict of interest there. They nullify the judgments. So therefore, this is how the next verse will give more meditational technique. But today's time is finished, so we shall meditate for 30 seconds, and then in case if you have a question, please feel free to ask. Yes, please. Yes, Charlie. That is the again this the same problem. Therefore, the technological development can never solve this issue. We had homelessness thousands of years ago, and with the growth of society and technology, the homelessness even in the developed societies has not reduced. The yeah, well, yeah, it is that is, but it is the main idea is, even if that person has a house, the misery will not go away. Ah, the point is, so many those who have houses, are they fully satisfied? No, they also are miserable. Somebody is miserable because don't have a house to live in. Somebody is miserable but because I have a house and I have to take care of the house. It is, yeah. Those that person who doesn't have a home to live in doesn't have to look for a painter to paint the home, and doesn't have to pay the insurance for the home. It is. I don't. Please don't get me wrong that homelessness is good. I don't mean that. It is, but the there is no solution for this in the world. It is, and the only consolation is that it changes. Somebody who is homeless may get home. Somebody who has a home may get robbed of the home. Who knows? Many who had home, a big tornado. I had gone in Oklahoma to see that tornado affected regions once, and oh, the people lost everything in just 2 minutes. The tornado just blew everything away. The house was just debris. Some house, some people died, some didn't die, and well, now homeless. And now, whose morality is it? Who killed? That kicked out the who broke the houses? Well, it is nature who did it. Can you say that, oh, this nature is immoral, it destroyed so many homes? It is so same thing about other things as well. It is very painful. But is there a solution for this? There is no solution. Yeah, that will bring us illumination. That will bring, but that will not make the world happy. Remember that the world, they that the dearth in the world will not go away, but the one who does that will get the illumination. Yes, please. Yeah. It is. It is true that when one develops in meditation and feels the self all around, it is very, very possible. It is, and it is. The idea is, if one meditates, gradually one will be able to get that awareness that it is the same self here as well as in the rock by my side. They are not different. It is uh, the if you see, you can expand that awareness easily, and so you think from the heart, yes, I am here. Now the bone in your uh, say hand, it's a bone, but you feel I in that, it's just a bone, uh, hard as rock, it is still, say that this is I. So why now, if this hand can feel it, that because you say that it is connected, and now if you hold in your hand a rock, now that rock is connected to you. If you keep the rock down, that same rock, it is connected. Suppose this hand is cut off, so you may still feel that it is I. It is, and sometimes even if it is joined, you may not realize that it is I. So, it is in orthopedic surgeries, this experience is very common. If that the leg is has had surgery, and you put the new leg there, uh, you still do not realize that it is your leg. As surgery is done, everything is fine. It takes time for the brain to get used to see that same eye in that surgically put leg. It is, you think that, huh, it is somebody else's leg that has been tied to me. So it takes some time to get that awareness of the self there. So it is true that through meditation you can actually see, feel, and experience that the things around, the same I is pulsating in each and every individual, each and every so called dead matter also. It doesn't remain dead then. Yeah. So let us conclude with the closing prayers. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu.